Midnight, 12 o'clock. The phone received a message. Please don't open the door for your roommate. I immediately felt a chill. All 3 roommates were in the dormitory. At this moment, there was a knock at the door. Knock, 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 don't knock anymore. Roommate A is closest to the door. When I was about to remind him, he had already opened the door. Who is it? As soon as the door opened, a cold wind rushed in. But it's only September now. No one is knocking at the door. Is there something wrong? Roommate A scolded and then closed the door. I wanted to speak up to remind him, but saw the message on my phone disappear. It seemed like just an illusion I had. Maybe because I've been reading a lot of horror novels lately. So I had a hallucination. I comforted myself that my roommate and I are both night owls. Not sleeping before 2 a.m. They play games, I read novels. I woke up feeling cold. When I woke up, my roommates were still not awake. There was no morning shift today. I prepared to continue sleeping, but I couldn't fall asleep. I decided to get out of bed to do homework. The yellow-white light shone on the yellowed paper. Suddenly, a line of text appeared on it. Children who do not listen are all naughty children. The writing was very strong, as if each letter was carved with a knife. Half of me trembled as I touched the letters, but it suddenly disappeared, just like the message last night. At 9:30, the roommates gradually woke up. I always observed my roommate, but it seemed he had no reaction. Do you feel unwell today? I had to ask him directly, but he frowned. It seemed like he thought I was sick. My roommate and I do not have a very good relationship. We used to argue about some things. Normally, we don't talk much. The sudden concern is indeed a bit surprising, but I really have no other choice. If the first message can still be considered my own illusion, then what about myself? Everything feels so strange. However, what is stranger is that the water purifier is working fine. Suddenly broke down. It's past 11 p.m. and I haven't boiled hot water. Only a few minutes until midnight. My roommate A suddenly says he wants to go to the hallway to get hot water. Indeed, I hurriedly called him back. A strange feeling rose in my heart. Too unusual. Everything is just too unusual. This time he turned to look at me. He seemed dissatisfied with my excessive concern today. She has her period, her stomach hurts. Now she needs to drink hot water. I seemed to see something behind him. But just in a flash, it was gone. He pulled the door open and left. It seems like everything has been predicted beforehand. I looked at the phone in my hand. Every second passed by. It was already midnight. Knock, knock, knock. The knocking sound rang out. Short and urgent like last night. Sometimes loud, sometimes soft. Just mixed with the voice of roommate A. Open the door, I forgot to bring my key. Don't open the door for your roommate. Children who don't listen are all bad kids. My roommate is showering. My roommate is lying on the bed. I looked towards the door. My heart raced. It was so cold outside. Hurry and open the door. Knock, knock, knock. I stiffly moved towards the door. My hand was on the doorknob but I couldn't dare to open it. It's so cold, open the door. Why is it so cold in September? My hand slowly left the doorknob. The knocking continued. I stood at the door until the knocking stopped. I glanced at my phone. 12:01 a.m. The blood in my body had frozen. I sat down in a spot. It took a while to recover. At that moment, the doorknob suddenly moved. I reflexively stood up. I saw my roommate returning with a water bottle. Today is really unfortunate. The hot water machine in the hallway is broken too. It forced me to go upstairs to get hot water. I swallowed. Did you just knock on the door? Roommate A put the water bottle down. What knocking? There's no door left to close. I turned to ask roommate C who was lying on the bed. Did you hear knocking? No. I immediately plopped down in roommate A's chair. What's wrong with you? Roommate A frowned. I don't know. I received a message yesterday. It told me not to open the door for my roommate. Did that message disappear quickly? Roommate C suddenly sat up from the bed, looking at me as if grasping a lifeline. I received it too yesterday. It said there are no screams in the dormitory. Who is idle enough to send these messages? Are you scared by this? This is made by a school club. After saying that, he took out his phone, opened a group chat for us to see. The group leader wants to see how many people will be scared. The administrator said tonight is a sleepless night. Every year at this time there are. Don't be afraid. My roommate handed me a cup of hot water. After drinking the water, I finally breathed a sigh of relief. Unbelievably, these people are too idle. Playing with this nonsense, right? What message did you receive? When the fear passed, curiosity arose again. Roommate A smiled, so that the roommate can drink the hot water you provided. Time seemed to stop. I stared at him without saying anything. A scream echoed from the bathroom. I didn't have time to think about the earlier mood. I hurriedly ran to the bathroom door and asked, "What's wrong?" Roommate was only wearing a bathrobe to cover his body. Bathwater and tears mixed together. He held the robe with one hand, and pointed at the toilet full of hair with the other hand. I looked in the direction he was pointing, but saw nothing. There was no hair. Could it be your own hair? Roommate A heard and came over. Roommate C poked his head out from the bed. Don't make such a fuss. You'll scare me to death. Muck, believe me. I really saw a lot of hair. Roommate A cried and grabbed my hand tightly. I had to finish showering with him. He seemed really scared. Tonight he didn't dare to sleep alone. He insisted on sleeping with me. We squeezed into the cramped space. Suddenly remembered the message. Do you know the school has a ghost club? Roommate B suddenly remembered something. His body trembled. Yesterday I received a message. It told me not to take a shower. I thought it was a prank by someone. Roommate's voice was filled with tears. My whole body trembled like a fallen leaf. It was the ghost club that did this. Don't worry. I comforted roommate A's feelings. But inside I was worried. I always felt something strange, but couldn't explain it clearly. If this was something the club made, then the knocking sound could be said to be too loud. What about the hair in the toilet? If it really is the hair of roommate A, then why wasn't he scared before? Moreover, we didn't see any hair. Just like before, they didn't hear the knocking. Furthermore, everyone's messages are different. I suddenly jolted. I drank roommate B's water. I can't break the rules. But why are roommate A's rules a bit different from ours? Maybe it's because of too much fear. When sleeping at night, always in a state of high tension. Drip, drip, like the sound of a faucet not being turned tightly. I drowsily opened my eyes. A shadow appeared by the bed. I closed my eyes, using the blanket to cover myself completely. But the sound of water outside continued. Drip, drip, but it didn't sound like a dripping faucet. Next was the sound of something being dragged. Maybe it wasn't an object. I could clearly sense that it was a person being dragged away. Because the one being dragged was me. I couldn't move. Drip, drip. In this quiet room, it sounds really deafening. I felt like I was dead. Being dragged for a long time. It's too cold outside. I really want to go home. That's not my voice. I really want to go home. It's not me speaking. That's not me. I have woken up. Cold sweat all over. My roommate has woken up. He heard my noise. He came over to ask if I was okay. I had a nightmare. But that dream was too real. Even now, I am still scared. My roommate saw that I was awake. Then went to roommate A's bed to wake him up. Jachi, wake up. It's time for the 10-cent meeting roll call. Did you not sleep yesterday? My dark circles are too heavy. Roommate A doesn't know. I feel so tired, like I need to sleep. More tired than running 800 meters. Don't say that. You definitely stayed up late last night. Hurry up, get out of bed and wash your face. There's only 5 minutes left until class. Roommate A is sluggish getting out of bed. When passing by me, he suddenly stops. Wants to say something but holds back. When he finishes washing his face, he stands behind me. Did you receive the message yesterday? I shook my head and asked him what he received. Roommate A didn't answer me. His spirit is gone. He returns to his seat. Due to the epidemic, we can't leave the dormitory. Meals are brought to us. So when the knock on the door sounds again, I involuntarily shiver, until roommate C goes to open the door to bring in food. I finally breathe a sigh of relief. Today's lunch is winter melon soup and pork ribs with stir-fried chicken and chili. I was getting ready to eat, when roommate A suddenly vomits. Sweating profusely. What's wrong? Roommate C asks. Roommate A is speaking while vomiting. It's nothing. Roommate C shoves a piece of rib into his mouth. Then another piece. The ribs in roommate A's bowl smell so good. They're already cooked. Roommate A looks at roommate C and takes another piece. Then runs straight to the bathroom to vomit. I look into the meat bowl and immediately understand. The message. This morning, roommate A asked me if I received the message. That means he received it. So what did he receive? You guys stop playing this boring prank. If you send another message, I will report it to the police. In the bathroom, roommate A's voice echoes. A angrily talks about the horror group. Horror group. I suddenly remembered. I have a list of all the school groups. The establishment of a group must be reported to the student union. I rummaged through last year's documents from the drawer, scanning from the first page to the last page. The horror group was disbanded in 2019. This is a group that has been gone for 3 years. A group that has been missing for 3 years. Strange messages. And there are notes appearing in the profession. When denying all impossibilities, the truth has only one possibility. I took out a blank sheet of paper. On it, I wrote who is the person. No one answered. The blank paper remains clean. But I know for sure someone is here. Roommate A comes out from the bathroom. I stopped him. Getting straight to the point. Did you receive a message yesterday? Roommate B raised his hand. I also received a message. It said not to riot after 2 o'clock. Roommate C, I also have a message. There are no traces of blood in the dormitory. I seriously asked, so what did you receive? I didn't receive anything at all. The only roommate pushed me away. This boring game. Have you all played too much? Don't bother me anymore. The roommate definitely received a message. But it seems like he doesn't want to tell us. Gia Key, I called him back. When did you join that horror group? Roommate A was stunned. Everyone stood still, eyes staring at me. Gia Key. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. He kept repeating this phrase. He said this while walking towards the bed. I kept looking at him. Until he sat down on the bed. Suddenly he smiled a creepy smile at me. It's insane. I picked up a pen. Writing each word on a blank page. Who are you really? What do you intend to do? I beg you, please show yourself. Finally, on the blank page appeared a line of text, after 2 a.m. Please do not approach sharp objects. It's again 2 a.m. What will happen after 2 a.m.? Do not wake up at night. Do not approach sharp objects. I thought about the dream last night. In the dream, I was pulled away by someone for a long time. Outside was damp and heavy, cold to the bone, but I was already dead. Why'd I still feel cold? I don't understand. Well, I won't think anymore. Carefully locking the sharp objects on the bed and table into the cabinet. Then I can sleep peacefully. But I don't sleep well. I always dream of myself. In the cold corner of the hallway. Reading vocabulary aloud. Holding a specialized book I don't understand. Unable to finish the exercises. Day and night, I can't count. Blurred, unable to see the light. In the night without lights. This is still not me. The English exam for graduate school tells me. I'm only in my second year, not that stressed. I wake up again. But this is not like yesterday. The time on the phone shows 2 a.m. I stiffly turned my head. A pale face. Song Jia-chi, is there something wrong with your mind? Not sleeping at midnight can be exciting. My roommate reached out and grabbed my neck. I could barely breathe. The hand on my neck was soaked as if bleeding. My roommate's neck, slowly twisting at a strange angle. A terrifying smile appeared on his face that looked at me yesterday. Why are you still not dead? A hoarse voice, as if he hadn't spoken for a long time. I pushed the hand that was choking me with one hand. With the other hand, I searched behind. Is there anything sharp? Don't get close to sharp objects. That person may not be human. He wants to kill me. The grip was getting stronger. I gradually lost the ability to resist. Help, but my cries for help were really too small. The other two roommates completely couldn't hear it. Moreover, yesterday my roommate started to go to bed at 2 a.m. and didn't receive any business information, so he went to the bathroom early and took earplugs with him. I kept kicking the bed leg with my foot until my consciousness gradually faded. I seemed to see myself from a long time ago. I had also gone through a similar scene. Suffering and despair enveloped me. Tears flowed uncontrollably. The person choking me seemed to panic. Where is my stuff? Where is my stuff? My roommate suddenly went crazy, continuously searching on the bed, beside the pillow. Haha, you can't escape. Don't think you can escape. I can kill you once. Then I can kill you a second time, a third time. The feeling of suffocation gradually disappeared. The grip slowly faded away. I clutched my throat and coughed violently. My body seemed to be about to finish coughing. My roommate slowly returned to normal, as if just waking from a sleepwalking dream, then crawled back to his own bed. I felt particularly tired. The fear and pain still hadn't disappeared from my heart. I fell asleep. But when I woke up, I was not in my dormitory, but in a cold corner. The phone clearly displays public information about nationwide exemption from exams for graduate school admission, along with the management service system, master's degrees at various levels. Some unit is some university. You have passed the school's admission interview. Interview score achieved. Please respond to the admission letter. Click to accept. Something wet brushed across my face. I used my hand to feel my tear-soaked face. This is not me. I ran wildly outside, but kept circling in that cold corner. The sound in the night still lingers in my ears. First, it was the muffled crying. The sound of crying gradually amplified, until the entire hallway was filled with his cries. Who are you after all? The crying has no clear answer. Just repeating one sentence, it's so cold. It's so cold outside. I'm about to be overwhelmed by the crying. My whole body became sad like him. The cold from the window seeped in and penetrated my skin. The wind blew through the window. I tried to endure the discomfort in my body. Took out a book. Banged hard against the window. I could barely breathe anymore. My heart felt like it was being crushed. If I don't wake up, I will definitely die. Finally, the window was shattered by me. I closed my eyes, jumped into the bottomless abyss. I woke up. Next to me, I heard a call. Why didn't they wake me up today? Called many times with no response. Roommate C, let me call one more time. Roommate came again. When did you wake up? Just now my whole body was in pain. I touched my neck. The fingerprints on it are still there, it's not a dream. If I'm late a bit more, I will die. What if the holiday doesn't wake me up? We have to take attendance next class. I got out of bed and went to your bed. Sure enough, his fingertips were bleeding. I went to get a basin of cold water. I splashed water on my roommate's face. Hey, what are you doing? My roommate stood frozen in place. My roommate C looked at me in shock. But I couldn't care that much. Hurry and help me, otherwise, this holiday will never wake up. I tried to shake my roommate A. Maybe because he saw my roommate like that and didn't wake up. The other two also shouted his name loudly, Song Jachi. I just called his name. I pressed the acupoint on his upper lip. But my roommate A still had no reaction. The blood on my roommate's hand was increasing. I looked in the mirror above his bed. I saw the bruise on my neck was getting heavier. If he doesn't wake up, we all have to die. In a daze, I heard that girl again. I understand, it's cold. He's afraid of the cold. Light the lighter in Jachi's drawer. My roommate C has arrived. Pull out the lighter. I could no longer stand firm. Like a final gamble. I grabbed the paper near me and lit it. Quickly hand it to Jachi to hold. After saying that, I fainted. Again, it was the pain. I am about to die. But it doesn't seem like that. Not the cold crying in the dream. I opened my eyes in a daze. I only saw roommate A. Lying by my bed, sobbing, I haven't died. You are crying by my grave. Roommate A has been made to laugh by me. Snot is running down. Song Jachi, what are you doing? That's disgusting. It was promised a long time ago. He started to talk. I still remember what happened last night. But that wasn't me. I nodded. Roommate A was surprised. I naturally knew it wasn't you. Who could normally twist their neck like that? And there was also a bleeding hand. The other two roommates looked at us with suspicion. What kind of riddle are you playing? I hesitated for a long time. In the end, I still told them about last night. At first, they didn't believe me. Until I showed them my neck. So our room attracted that person? Roommate swallowed hard. I nodded, and my roommate fell back into the chair. So, what was the message you received that night? I asked roommate A seriously. Roommate A wanted to say something back. As if he had made a great effort to say that he wanted to kill you. Only roommate A nodded. The person he wanted to kill was not me. So who was it? I recalled the name on the exam, Delina. That name sounded familiar. I got off the bed to take the documents from the drawer. Graduation student list. In the honors ceremony of previous years. It seems this name was there. Delina was found. I searched from my phone. I found the president of the previous student council. I asked him about Delina. 2 hours later, he sent me information about Delina. Her annual scores were basically in the top 10 of her major. The number of major awards was countless. In September 2018, she took the master's exam at some university. In December 2018, she went missing. I looked at the dorm room number that appeared. It was the dormitory I was currently in, the lower bunk. I looked up at the sticker on my bed. Recalling what had happened over the past few days. Delina may not have gone missing, but was rather murdered, and the killer is obviously the person from that bed. Who is that person? Why would he want to kill Delina? I sought out the senior from class 19, grade 7, to ask about Delina's relationships. But the information I received was that Delina was very nice, very caring towards everyone, and had a good relationship with her roommates. So why would that person from the bed want to kill Delina? My phone received another message. The former student council president said that one of Delina's roommates had jumped off a building to commit suicide. I unconsciously thought it was the favorite bed, but the senior sent another message. Then those two roommates seemed to have regretted it. Why did they jump off to commit suicide? I don't know. I requested a list that had been guaranteed before. Lisa, Marco. Lisa, I have this name again. I will cross-reference it with Delina's roommate list. Bed number Lisa. Bed C, Marco, not bed A. The one who was guaranteed was him. I suddenly understood. I am not Delina, or rather, in the dream of endlessly taking an exam, it is me. Not Delina, but Lisa. That's why that corner is so cold. I poured a cup of hot water. After drinking, I went to bed to sleep. Indeed, this time, I still woke up in that dark corner. But this time my body couldn't control itself. Or rather Lisa, was scrolling through my phone to check the research protection news. This is Delina's circle of friends. The phone received another message. I also have notes for the specialized lesson. Wait a moment, I'll bring them over. He typed a few words on the phone with his hand. No need to wait, I'll be back soon. He took out a few sedative pills from the drawer. Put them in his bag. He walked very slowly. When he reached the dormitory door, he looked at his watch. It was exactly 12 o'clock when he knocked on the door. Opening the door was Delina. She invited him to the hallway to fetch hot water, and added the crushed sedative pill into the water bottle. It's really cold today. Drink some hot water. Lisa had given hot water to everyone in the dorm. Everyone drank hot water, except for Delina. Thank you, I'll drink later. I need to rearrange my things a bit. I still have many exam notes from before. The older sister left them for me, looking for the book with a bright smile. But I hate him to the extreme. Why can he talk so much? We all have the same rituals. Is it just because he skips classes more? Why are the words in my heart about to burst out? He doesn't know how hard studying for a year is. He doesn't know what it's like to be at school at 5 a.m. He doesn't know how cold the hallway is in December. He doesn't know how to handle hundreds of exam papers, still not grasping the knowledge. He just keeps saying, keep going, keep going. Who wants to keep going? Who wants his blessings? Who wants his false charity? He just stands on the podium, looking down on those running a marathon below. Keep going. He completely doesn't understand how much I suffer. I hate him. I hate Delina. He is the one who robbed me of the chance to defend my research. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have gone through all of this. This is not right. Not like that. Even without Delina, there would be Delina, Vong and Tu. I shouldn't hate Delina's excellence. I opened my eyes wide to see Lisa after everyone had fallen asleep. Had strangled Delina, and was powerless. I wanted to control Lisa's body, but the pain prevented me from opening my eyes. Pulled down from the bed by Lisa. The other roommates had been given sleeping pills, so no matter how loud the sound was, they wouldn't hear it. Wouldn't hear my cries for help. Wouldn't hear Lisa cruelly assaulting me. Lisa grabbed my hair and pulled me down from the bed. Locks of hair were pulled out. The scalp was harshly pulled down by Lisa. Lisa disdainfully threw it into the toilet. You know what? I lost 10 times more hair than before. I was pulled outside. It really hurt, so much pain. I shifted from the perspective of Mr. Beast to the perspective of Lisa. The pain disappeared. Instead, there was endless joy. Ha 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 ha, I laughed with Lisa. Together with him, buried Mr. Beast in the wasteland of the school. One of the roommates drank too little water. Woke up midway and witnessed everything. Frightened, hid under the blanket. Finally, mentally shattered, committed suicide by jumping from a high floor. I woke up. Gathering information from the past few days. 1. Do not open the door for roommates. Do not open the door for Lisa. 2. Disobedient children are all bad kids. If you open the door, Lisa will come in. 3. Let your roommate drink the hot water you provide, so they will sleep soundly. Then kill Mr. Beast. 4. There is no shouting in the dormitory. The other two are sound asleep and cannot hear. 5. No uprising after 2 a.m. Tan Wei will kill Mr. Beast after 2 a.m. 6. No traces of blood in the dormitory. That madman has self-hypnotized. So there are 3 people in the dormitory. And 1 crazy roommate. If I correspond to Mr. Beast, then the roommate corresponds to Tan Wei. So who is the crazy roommate? Thinking like this, there is a knocking sound outside. Knock knock knock. Tan Wei has arrived. Open the door, still a cold breeze. But I know. Tan Wei has entered. Roommate A pours a cup of hot water. It's cold outside, drink some hot water to warm the stomach. You leave it there. I will tidy up the stuff. I recall what Mr. Beast said in the dream. In the room, I brought hot water to roommates B and C. I wait for the time to reach 2 a.m. In a daze, I seem to see Mr. Beast on the podium shining. I see him walking around in various part-time jobs. His home seems very poor. It seems to be very far away, a place called Donald Jack. He is optimistic, always positive, not a talented person, but works 10 times, 100 times harder than others. Therefore, he can stand with those who are different at the starting line. Standing at the same finish line. The cold wind brushes past my ears. I turn to look at roommate A. Still standing next to my bed. The dictionary locked in the cabinet was pulled out by me. I hold it, and hit roommate A hard on the head. He lets out a painful cry. His radiant smile suddenly vanished, his hand reached towards me. You have to die, Jenny, grab my hand holding the dictionary. I didn't dare to be careless at all. One hand tightened around his neck, using all my strength. But I was wrong. He was not human. He suddenly let out a chilling laugh. You want to kill me too? His face suddenly pressed close to mine. This time it was my turn. The clammy hand touched my neck, suddenly tightened. The feeling of suffocation rushed in. I blankly looked down at my feet. Using the dictionary in my hand to hit his head, he easily snatched the dictionary from my hand. I kicked the bed frame of my roommate. But I didn't call my roommate's name. I called the crazy girl Mr. Pip. Do you want to see me get killed again? My feet kept kicking the bed frame. The feeling of suffocation grew stronger. Mr. Pip, I unwillingly closed my eyes. Jenny, turn back. In the end, I bet right. The hair my roommate saw was Jane William hair. The only one who saw that scene was Mr. Pip. So, the roommate corresponds to Mr. Pip. The strength in my hands gradually disappeared. Jenny's voice rang out. What are you turning for? I wasn't wrong. Jenny walked towards Mr. Pip. The hand that had tightened around my neck moved up to Mr. Pip's neck. It was at this moment I grabbed the sharp object hidden under the bed, stabbed it into Jenny's heart. It finally ended.